Fulton County DA Fani Willis expected to lay out the details of her case against former President Donald Trump and his 18 other co-defendants for their alleged meddling in Georgia's 2020 election. Well, tomorrow's hearing will be focused on the former president's chief of staff. News Edge reporter Kim Leffler has more on what we really can expect.
Former President Trump's chief of staff, Mark Meadows, filed a motion to move his case from state to federal court. One legal expert I spoke with says Meadows and his attorneys believe the jurors in the area for a federal court could be more sympathetic than those in Fulton County. Former White House chief of staff Mark Meadows will have a hearing Monday after turning himself in to the Fulton County jail on Thursday. Meadows participated in the call between former President Trump and Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, where the former president asked Raffensperger to find votes. He's one of 19 defendants, including former President Trump, now facing election interference charges in the state's 2020 election.
At this point, the federal judge has to decide whether this case meets the statutory requirements to be in federal court. Was the defendant a federal officer? Certainly at the time, at least some of these allegations are made. And was the defendant acting under color of that office? Emory law professor Jonathan Nash says the belief is Meadows will have a more favorable jury pool to choose from at the federal level. In state court in Fulton County, you're going to get a jury pool drawn entirely from Fulton County. In federal court, you're drawing jurors from 10 different counties across North Georgia, and some of those counties voted more favorably for President Trump in the last couple of presidential elections. That's a gamble, but maybe one that Meadows and his attorneys think is worth taking. He also says there's concern about bias in state courts. A concern that state courts, state actors would not view the federal actors favorably and would try to criminalize or even just bring civil suits to deter them from doing their responsibilities. Raffensperger has been subpoenaed to testify in Monday's hearing. Nash stressed no decision of guilt or innocence will be made. The hearing will be the first time Willis will be presenting her case against Meadows in court. It's not known how this will impact the other defendants, a handful of whom have also filed for their cases to be moved to federal court. Monday's hearing will begin at 10 a.m. Eric.
All right, thanks so much, Kim, for breaking down those details. Still